Alright, let's talk a little bit about food, alright? A little bit of express warning for some of you that want to know about food. I don't think there's enough animals, meaning cows, legal enough to feed everyone on this planet. But let me tell you this. Not everything on the shelf is meat. And when I say everything on the shelf is meat, a lot of it doesn't look like regular meat from a cow. So the question of it is, when you sit down and eat a hot dog, like a lot of pack hot dogs had kibasi in it, so it has pork flavored, which is nothing new for this company. It wanted a different taste than a hot dog, so came up with a certain type of hot dog that was pork. Well, it was meat based and not human based for a person, and it had kibasi. And that was it. You can taste the kibasi. It's a little stronger than the hot dog, but at the same time satisfying both if you had cravings. Now, are cravings real? No. Your stomach may say, I want a hot dog, okay, without saying. You may even feel like, oh, I'm up for hot dogs. But if you're smelling a hoagie, if you're smelling steak and whatnot, you might just be in a bit of trouble. Or at least you got someone messing with you. So think about that. You can sit there and go, da, 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 da. Yeah. A lot of arrogant people do that. They think they know things. If you know things, then you would know that there was, problems with certain companies in Williamsport. You would know the names of these companies if you know them. You would know your own name. See, a few people are going to get harassed by the IRS here soon. When I say this, you're going to be asked a bunch of questions, then they're going to ask you your name. And then if they think you're hypnotized, they're going to go through the dictionary, or they sit you on a machine. And if any of these words are safe words, then they're going to ask you the questions all over again. You may say, oh, I'm in the free country. No country's free if you got law, so get that through your stupid head. You have 12 years education, you say you got 8 years, 12 years of a bachelor's to a master's degree. I think you're full of crap, because you would understand what the heck I'm talking about and why certain procedures are required. And why settling a problem such as murder in NYC, it would be a big problem. If you are a brown-skinned person, you do not understand this, why it needs to be settled, then you are a moron. Understand that. And morons often don't get hired very much. If someone walks up to you and says in plain English, stop taking from that person, because you got that screen in front of you and you work at a bank where you get a lot of information. I mean, you got access to credit reports, you got access technically to backgrounds, because the judicial system could not actually put a background online for anyone without having my permission to do so. And even then, you don't have my permission if you remember what I said. So I want to see how many idiots sit what they call judgment. That's the guy sitting behind there with a robe on. You got to remember a few things. If you're from Lycoming County, if you're from the Scottish Rites, and so forth and so forth and so forth, that Lycoming County building was leveled in 1966 by a hydrogen thermal bomb. You may say, no it isn't. Go to James B. Brown Library and pull up the file through the little reels, you take a picture and scroll through the reels. You'll find out. If you think I'm lying, one guy said I was lying. He went and looked. He got a bit of an eye-opener. He had to actually come back and not call me a liar. So anyway, let's get back to food. When you're looking for that perfect Delmonico, you're looking for that perfect bit of meat. We all know the cows are fat because they don't walk them as much as they used to. Used to walk them like 500 miles and back through a bunch of cowboy roughnecks, as I refer to them now. If you go to the oil industry, they'll say roughneck. No, you're not. A roughneck is a guy who rides a horse, wears not a blazer, but wears a coat, mainly made for winter. I wouldn't say winter. I say rain more than winter and whatnot, and they sleep outside underneath in the open. So, you gotta ask yourself that question. Especially the guy from Goonies. A little dark hair, a little twit. But anyway, ask yourself that question. Are you really intelligent? But anyway, whether this is your first, second time, or you're on your final time of death, when I say death, you're normally out of here in 35 years or less. You got your 2 generations in. Nothing good came from you, so your life's ended. Like I said, you gotta be intelligent to be able to figure out some things. But anyway, let's get back to food. So that Delmonico steak, that Long Island steak, let's see, and some other things. I mean, I had questionable steak in front of me twice. I had to just take it and throw it out. Throw it out, throw it in the trash, get rid of it. Sad, because I know who, I get to write down the person's name who fucked it up. I would say excuse me about using the word fuck, but fuck is not a vulgar word, nor is it a slang word. Fuck means you mess something up by screwing it up through idiocy and stupidity. Okay? That's how someone can sit there and say that to someone. So, if the Webster Dictionary, which was changed, is as good as they say it was, then they would realize that one thing. The person that changed it had no right to change it. And when you get a Webster Dictionary, do yourself a favor. Get a black permanent ink marker and just cross out the name of the author. Any names that they put down as author, who knew the subject, and then flip the page over and do the same thing. Better yet, how about just rip the freaking page right out of the book? Because that's about how useful it is when they change definitions. A girl had a YouTube video. Why are they deleting words out of the dictionary? I can tell you this, I'm deleting words out of the dictionary. If you got a problem with that's too bad. I'll tell you why I'm deleting words out of the dictionary. A, you have no provincial right to go in under another person's name and screw up their history or past because you're a moron who just likes to make trouble. Alright? When Webster put a dictionary out, it had less than, 50 pages. Front to back definitions. Real easy, real simple. You want to go get something to eat? You want to say, you want to go get something to eat? Eat? Burger King? Ready? Easy, huh? Can't quite play on that, can you? So don't be the idiot and sit there and socialize so much. Because there's ways of talking without words. And you're going to go back to not talking at all. Because then where people originally came from, the thing on your neck was used for something totally different. They call a voice box. It's not a voice box. Anyway, have a good day.